Today, XPlay kicks off Fall Review Week with the year's biggest RPG, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Plus, we've got Modern Warfare 3 pro tips and a preview of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. XPlay starts right now.
Hello and welcome to XPlay, the show that validates your opinions. I'm Adam Sessler.
And I'm Morgan Webb. It might seem like an ordinary day, but it is not. Today is the first day of XPlay's Fall Review Week.
That's why it smells like persimmons. Times are tight and we'll help you figure out which big games are really worth your hard-earned cash. Also on the way, Infinity Ward's Robert Bowling will show you how to rack up the XP in Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer.
Let's find out how Mass Effect 3's online mode will tie into the single-player campaign. And later, get your first look at the Black Eyed Peas experience. It's a dance game for Connect that's dedicated solely to their music. Yep.
Yeah. But first, it's time to kick a dragon's ass.
Really, there's no better way to kick off Fall Review Week than a game like Skyrim. It's freaking huge.
It's like really big. So huge, we're doing a double-sized review. There is that much to talk about. The combat, the dragons, the world, dragons, and glorious Max von Sydow voiceover, and dragons.
I like dragons. So let's get right to it. Here's part one of our review.
Bethesda has always excelled at creating games with expansive worlds and excessive content. With The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, they have topped themselves so thoroughly that it isn't just beyond what we expected the game to be, it may actually be beyond what we thought was possible this generation.
This hasn't happened in centuries, at least.
Naturally, this fifth installment takes place in Skyrim, the northern province on the continent of Tamriel. As such, it has a heavy Nordic flavor, both due to the environment and the fact that the people of Skyrim are rather Viking-like. On one hand, that means lots of funny accents.
These are our sacred traditions that go back to the founding of the First Empire.
On the other, it means dragons. The dragons of legend have returned, just in time to save your neck from an execution.
A dragon here in Skyrim.
After escaping from your Imperial captors, you bring the whole creatures of myth burning up the countryside thing to the local ruler.
Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative.
This leads to a confrontation with the dragon, and an epic battle ensues. When you absorb the soul from the defeated dragon, it is a startling revelation to the Skyrim natives fighting by your side.
I can't believe it. You're Dragonborn.
Turns out you have the soul of a dragon in the body of a mortal, which means you're destined to do great things, and more importantly, you can learn the dragon language and spit it back out as shouts. This is the main thread of the core narrative, but veterans of the series know that what you really do in an Elder Scrolls game is wander. The world of Skyrim is more fully and richly realized than just about anything that has come before it. And we don't mean in this franchise, we mean in games, period.
But was it worth tearing Skyrim apart and maybe destroying the Empire?
Whereas Oblivion was sprawling and large, but relatively shallow in terms of discrete pieces of content, Skyrim is absolutely packed with narrative, both explicit and implied. Every location feels handcrafted. Every dungeon you explore rewards you for the effort in the end. Every fight plays out differently and makes you feel like a badass when you emerge victorious. You can easily set off to accomplish one particular task and find yourself distracted for literally hours as you stumble over new quests and new locations to explore. Well over 50 hours into the game, we were still discovering new aspects of the world and its inhabitants. But as we'll see shortly, the biggest differences between Oblivion and Skyrim are in the way you play the game and evolve your character.
Stick around, part 2 of our Skyrim review is coming up later in the show.
The biggest rush in Modern Warfare 3 is hearing that sound when you level up in multiplayer. And you can be doing it a whole lot faster if you pick up specially marked Mountain Dew or Mountain Dew Game Fuel.
Twist off the cap, find the code printed inside, and then enter it online at dewxp.com. Doing that scores you double XP, and you can get some other cool prizes.
And for another boost, just check out these pro tips from Infinity Ward's Robert Bowling. You'll prestige in no time.
Hey, I'm Robert Bowling, 402. Creative strategist on Modern Warfare 3. And I have some multiplayer tips to help you rank up even faster.
Kill confirmed.
So when you're playing Kill Confirmed, it's not just about getting kills, it's just about confirming and denying kills.
Kill confirmed.
So you want to be focused on speed, and you want to be running as a team, because you and your buddy together are going to be more powerful than a guy alone. Because not only are you engaging that guy, but you're trying to make sure that you're getting that tag. You need to have situational awareness on where your buddy is at, because if he goes down and that enemy gets his tag, that's a confirmed kill. So what you want to do is use Stalker Pro, so when you're engaging an enemy, you can be strafing more quickly to pick up those dog tags of your friendlies that go down and deny the kill, so even if you go down in that fight, he's not getting 2 kills for the price of 1.
Kill confirmed. Team Defender.
So the best thing you can do in Team Defender, where it's all about defending on the move with the flag, is really look at the new equipment that we offer. Of course you have claymores and syntax and throwing knives, things focus on kills. But when you're in a defensive game type like this, you really want the objective focus equipment. Things like the trophy system, because the first thing they're going to do when they see you posting up and defending a flag is they're going to be sending in M203 rounds. They're going to be sending in grenades. So what you want to do is have somebody on your team throws up a trophy system. What that will do is it will take out the explosions in the air. So an RPG comes out, instead of taking out 3 of your guys who are on the defensive, it's going to take that out for you so you can focus on putting rounds down range. So with these tips and the Mountain Dew rank up experience, you're going to be heading to Prestige in no time.
Good job.
Stick around, there's more X-Play on the way, including part 2 of our review of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, which covers hours 200 through 392,000. Plus, find out what's in store for Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and prepare to have your world rocked by the Black Eyed Peas experience. Am I saying that ironically? Probably yes. We'll be right back.
This portion of X-Play is fueled by Mountain Dew. Life is better with Mountain Dew Double XP, so rank up for Modern Warfare 3. Just get your hands on some Mountain Dew, find the code, and go to dewxp.com. Enter the code and watch that sweet, sweet XP come rolling in. It's Mountain Dew's rank up experience. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Double XP and other prizes available at dewxp.com.
Nothing worse than when a solid single-player franchise tacks on an unnecessary multiplayer mode. Now, thankfully, Mass Effect 3's online offerings don't involve team deathmatch and teabagging. You play cooperatively with friends, and the progress you make can help along your single-player campaign. Get all the details in this preview.
The worst kept secret in video games has been confirmed. That's right, Mass Effect 3 is getting multiplayer. We caught up with BioWare Studios general manager Aaron Flynn for all the latest news.
We announced a 4-player co-op online multiplayer mode for Mass Effect 3, so we're really excited to finally announce that. It's all part of our Galaxy War initiative, which is really meant to emphasize with Mass Effect 3 we have an all-out galactic war that Shepard's participating in. We've been thought about multiplayer for a long time with Mass Effect and with all of our games, really. And really, with the story that we're telling in Mass Effect 3, it felt like it was the right time we could do a multiplayer mode that really embraced the story we're telling and was consistent with it and really helped tell an even better story.
This isn't your problem, Commander.
Fighting alongside your friends as the galaxy goes to war may not get any better than this.
So we've described as the beginning, the middle, and the end of the Reaper invasion in the Galactic War. And so players will work very hard in both the single-player and multiplayer campaigns to control theaters of operation, which will then represent the areas in the galaxy that are under attack and which ones have been liberated, which ones are controlled by the Reapers. One of the things we're doing a lot of with this one is multiple enemies, waves and waves of enemies, especially in the multiplayer. So it's really meant to challenge our players and give them the experience of imagining what a galactic war would be like, and the scale of that we're really trying to bring to the game.
And that larger scale means even more intense combat.
So we keep working on the combat as we keep going through the games. We're lucky to be able to do that. And the combat gets better and better. We've refined the cover system. We've got more upgradable weapons, more upgradable armor sets, etc. And it's really just meant to give players a better and better experience as they play in both the single player and the multiplayer campaigns.
We'll do more than challenge them.
BioWare's Galaxy at War design is aiming to give gamers more control over Mass Effect than ever before.
We're letting you see what's going on in the Galactic War by showing you a map that has things color-coded and designed that way. It's got lots more RPG elements in there. It's really going to feel there's lots of progression, lots of stuff you can earn, lots of unlocks, so it's good that way. Tweaks all around in the AI system. We've got better AI for the combat, better AI for a lot of our cinematic stuff like that. It's going to be really good.
Unfortunately, we'll have to wait a while before finishing the fight against the Reapers. Mass Effect 3 hit stores on March 6, 2012.
Coming up on X-Play, 2 games that couldn't be more different. Get ready for part 2 of our Skyrim review and your first look at the Black Eyed Peas experience.
Ready for this?
Without a doubt, Dance Central and its sequel are great games to play on Kinect. But if you're like me, I'm sure you've played them so much and thought, man, this would be just so much better if it only had songs featuring will.i.am and Fergie. Well, guess what, you guys? It's actually happening. Here's your first look at the Black Eyed Peas experience.
Following in the footsteps of other Dancing Kinect games before it, the Black Eyed Peas experience wants to get you off the couch and into the virtual dance club with one of the biggest bands in the world.
That's dope.
We recently got to sit down with an expert when it comes to swaying your gluteus maximus.
There's 30 tracks from the Black Eyed Peas, from the beginning, the end, Monkey Business, and Elephant. You have all those songs, and there's roughly around 300 dance moves that you can do to this game. And you can learn them step by step before performing the full routine with the Black Eyed Peas, or you can just jump right into dance party mode and just learn as you go.
Shimmy, shake, and jostle about. Follow the little guy at the top of the screen, and you might just survive this virtual West Side Story rumble.
And then if you want to get really creative too, there's a new mode called Choreo Maker. And you can make up your own dance routine and challenge your friends and also share it on Xbox Live as well.
Oh, you be killing it.
If you wanted to get any closer to the Black Eyed Peas, you'd be talking to a hologram inside the CNN studios. For fans of the band who have been waiting to have a good night, Black Eyed Peas experience is available now on the Xbox 360 for your Kinect.
After the break, we'll talk dragons, dungeons, and dual-wielding magic. Part 2 of our Skyrim review is coming right up after this short break. Welcome back. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is such a huge game that it couldn't be contained into a measly 2-minute and 45-second segment. Oh no! This game is so huge, so dense, so packed full of dragon goodness that it needs a second part just as long. And here it is.
While the world of Skyrim is unquestionably astounding, the character you control within it is no less impressive.
Who are you?
You can choose any of the usual Elder Scrolls races to create your avatar, and every race can become proficient in whatever abilities you decide you want to specialize in. There's a lot of flexibility in the leveling system, which fixes the oddities and flaws of previous Elder Scrolls games. The character upgrades have been significantly streamlined. Instead of adding numbers to your various stats, each level offers a perk point which has a clear material benefit to a particular skill. The result, you can be a jack of all trades or you can specialize. For the first time, being a straight up pure mage is a viable character build choice. Love it. Combat itself is visceral and rewarding, whether you're blasting enemies with magic or running bandits through while dual wielding like a badass. To say nothing of the always epic clashes with the dragons themselves, which can happen at any time in the world. Do be aware that the game does not scale to your level the way Oblivion did. What I'm saying here is, don't mess with the giants too soon. Yes, difficulty can occasionally spike dramatically, but it's not like you'll be short on alternative activities. You'll accumulate quests at an alarming rate. I mean, look at my quest list. That's ridiculous. Even better, the side quest storylines are interesting, coherent narratives that could have been the central quest lines of less ambitious RPGs. But when you play Skyrim, you won't be thinking about all this. You'll just be playing the game. This is the ultimate achievement of Skyrim. The game architecture stays in the background, and the experience of existing in this phenomenal world is center stage. Rewards come not as XP or stat boosts, but in seeing new areas, finding new items, and discovering new quests. It's like a Christmas present you open for hundreds of hours. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim gets a 5.
It's the greatest honor that's within my power to grant.
Out of 5.
If you love your life and you just want to quit it completely, Skyrim is definitely the game to get. I'm going to go ahead and say it, Adam, and I don't know if this is indicative of X-Play's opinion as a whole. I think this is the best console game of this generation.
I would go further and think this might be one of the greatest games ever made. It's just, there's something in its enormity. It's very hard. I found actually in writing this review, it was very hard to articulate it because it's really the sense of experience. This world is so perfectly detailed. The quests actually have this sense of substance that you don't feel like you're playing a game. You're really just kind of having an experience in this amazing environment.
And what's even more brilliant about it is the fact that Adam and myself and a couple other people here have played the game for now total hundreds of hours, and we've all had drastically different experiences. This world is just so unique in the way that it randomly generates everybody's experience in a different way.
And also, with even the amount of time that we've played it, I still don't feel like I've seen everything. I mean, I think that's the driving force of this game, is that what's around that corner, what's over there, the sense that there's something new. It's not about grinding and leveling up. It really is just about having an amazing time in this environment.
Right, and I think, to your point, too, one of the best things they've done is that they've taken out the minutia of assigning points to different things, and they're letting you level up as if you were a real battle mage in a real world. You don't have to focus on that.
When you add 3 points to strength, it's just so you can increase your damage, and that's what the perk does. And when you get the perk, you know what's happening in the game rather than this weird kind of mathematical rubric that implies something.
Right, and then as far as the questing is concerned, Bethesda said there's over 300 dungeons in the game. Having experienced, I'd say, maybe a tenth of that at this point, every single dungeon, it's not just the same thing reskinned. Everything is completely different. I can't. It's so incredibly hard to wrap my head around how big this game is.
It's almost an act of madness. I don't really understand how human beings, and now I realize fewer human beings than I thought actually made this game. It's incredible.
And speaking of real world magic, Bethesda, if you're watching, I know you are, Todd Howard. What black magic did you use to fit all of that content on one Xbox 360 disc? What
Yeah.
happened there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Play this game. That's all I'm saying.
If you're only going to buy one this year, this is the game to buy. And here's a look at what's coming up next on XPlay.
Tomorrow, the truth will be revealed while stabbing dudes in the back. Don't miss our 2-part review of Assassin's Creed Revelations. Plus, we'll get some FaceTime with comic book legend Jim Lee and an exclusive look at Justice League Issue 3. Then revisit the shooter that changed console gaming in our review of Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. And we'll head to Vegas for this year's SEMA Car Show and the GT Awards. Find out which tricked out custom ride will become virtual wheels in Gran Turismo 5.
And later in the week, a review of the wholesome Saints Row the Third. There's a lot of these open world games that are suddenly coming out.
There are, and I like them, and I like that they're actually starting to be filled with things to do.
Things to do,
because
yes.
open world games used to, you had your quests and you had your missions, but then other than that, you just kind of walked around, and once you hit about 10,000 pedestrians with your car, there wasn't that much else to do.
Yeah, it was kind of like buying a warehouse and just putting a sofa in it.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, look, it's got a high ceiling.
Thanks for watching XPlay.
Cool.